This video is proudly brought to you by whatiszs.com. ZS is coming soon. Okay, friends, subscribers, and all you YouTubers out there. Yes, I know I don't have a subscriber on this one, but a lot of the subscribers from my other channel are coming across. And but the whole thing is, everybody, this channel is about me, about my art. So over time, you're going to learn about a few projects I'm doing, i.e. like this nice little robot that you can actually see there, and that little robot that's now on the screen is pretty much the latest project that I'm actually doing. I've just started it. Unfortunately, we had a printer malfunction, and because I still haven't completely built the other printers, I'm not unable to continue on until all the parts turn up to repair the other printer. And I'm in the process of trying to get the other printer running. And I'm also going to be doing stuff like actually making things bigger. Even this robot, after I build it, I plan to make it bigger. And yes, so over time we're going to be doing a few different things, but a lot of the stuff, right, that I'm going to do is stuff like this. I'm going to build some printers. I'm going to test the builds out. I'm going to go into Thingiverse and I'm going to build them out, and yes, again, I'm going to blow them up and make them bigger. I'm currently in the process of building a Rostock 3D printer, but the 3D printer that I plan to build is going to be bigger, because see, there's hardly any large quality, and I'm saying quality because I plan to make kits out of these once I build them and get them running, and so that you'll be able to buy a kit that will be easier to put together. All the parts will be shipped to you, and yeah, so that's what the main aim of the printers are. We plan to try to make some Core XY 3D printers, some Rostock, some similar to the Wanhu duplicators, because they use angles to make their 3D printers instead of like squares and everything. I'm actually in the process of modifying my Cocoon Create. Can never say that damn word. And yes, occasionally little word slip. I'm an Aussie, okay? So those of you out there that have never run across an Aussie, yeah, well, I'm out there. And but occasionally the little one may slip and everything like that, and I will apologise if it happens, but I can't really do it. But sometimes anger with a problem will bring it out and everything. But yeah, that's part of me. That's just me. You'll have to get used to it as time goes by. You will always see at the beginning of one of our videos will be an ad for a product. You may see a couple of ads for a product, because this will be eventually a sponsored channel. We are looking for sponsors, because building and making stuff costs money. But what I'm going to do is I am going to be approaching the sponsors of the stuff that we're building. So not only one, that you know where to get the stuff and everything. See, one of the things that I always had trouble, it took me 3 years to actually find the T-slot. 3 years, because I didn't know what it was called. And so I went to the local aluminium place. I even drew them a picture. Oh, no, mate, no, we don't know what that is. We can make it for you, though, but we'll charge you like 10 grand. And I got sick of this happening, and I was actually in the local one, still trying to chase the exact same stuff. because I want a larger size. I don't want the 20 by 20. I want a bigger size because I'm building bigger printers. But I'm still going to build these small kits. Why? Because like, whenever you build something big, before you build it big, you want to test that you can build that particular model, but it's also for a reason of working out where the problems are with that particular model that you've taken the plans from. And when you take the plans from something, you will, if I'm going to blow up that particular mini Core XY printer, I have to enlarge all the parts, and they've got to fit the components that I'm going to put on there. And but see, the XY are just too small on a lot of these printers, just far too small. Like, I build stuff that is large. I'm an artist, I'm a sculptor, and it's the reason I originally bought my first Rostock printer. And I am going to build a life-size Rostock printer that prints a human-size sculpture, because I'm an artist. I like to print things out. I've been studying for 26 years. I've studied multiple subjects, from engineering, business, electronics, yeah, you name it. I've pretty much studied a fair bit. I've done furniture making. I've done the lot. I've done art. I am an artist, and I've studied every field of art there is, including filmmaking, game creation, animation. I'm actually going back and doing a diploma of animation this year. So I will be talking about things and projects I'm working on through the TAFE, and because that's where I study. I study at TAFE, and it's a great place to study, by the way. TAFE, yeah, the free ad for you. It's a great place to study. You get more hands-on at a TAFE, unlike some universities where you go there, go to a lecture most probably a couple of times a week, and you don't really learn nothing. They're not going to come around and sit with you and say, okay, maybe we should do this, maybe we should do that. How you going, mate? How's your project going? And where the teachers come around and sit with you. That's why I love TAFE, because they come around, they sit with you, and they see how you're going, they see what you're doing and everything like that. And I love it. I love it. It's unreal. I originally started studying back at TAFE because of my injury. I'm a disabled man. I had a major spinal injury and everything like that. So I started studying back at TAFE, and to actually go back and get my paperwork, and then I didn't actually get the art paperwork. I saw there was no need for it, actually. But I did go through all the course, but they wouldn't give it to me because I refused to do life drawing because of the simple fact that I'm a Christian. I wasn't going to look upon another man's woman. It's a sin. So yeah, I didn't get my paperwork. And ever since then I realised that paperwork's just a piece of paper. But I'm thinking about building this Core XY there, that one there. It's a basic printer, the Core XY. Then you have this style of printer, which is similar to the Cocoon Create, which again is a different model to how I've got. So yeah, I'm thinking about building that, because that one is 100% 3D printed. You build pretty much everything. So I'm going to try and modify it, see if we can add some stuff to it. And yeah, so more than likely down the road we may get some like the electronic, hopefully we get the electronics people to sponsor us, because it'll give you a link to where you can get that item. And but it costs money to build things. Unfortunately, it costs money. And hence, when you're a builder, you don't have a very massive income. Yes, I've got a couple of inventions, but they're not on the market yet, and they will be soon. Don't worry about that. But for now, yeah, we're going to try and get some sponsors out there and everything like that. But the whole thing is, it's sort of, you go through everything, like even the slices, like you got the basic slices out there, but simply 3D, is it worth it? We're going to talk about all that sort of stuff. But it's going to mainly be about making stuff. Sometimes you will actually get taken into my studio and see me paint. Yes, you can't see me at the moment, I know. Unfortunately, the webcam's got a problem. The mount that carries the webcam around is broke, and I've got to fix that. And I'm doing major reno, and I've got to finish the roof in that room, and it's going to be converted into a studio once the roof has been completed. And that's just waiting for a plasterer to turn up and finish the job. And once that has been completed, then we'll be moving from a film set, because I'm currently working in a film set, and because the film set has to get finished, so hence I actually have to get out of this room and go into another room, so hence why I'm doing it, because I want to finish the film set. Because we're making two films. We're making a film called Project New Eden. It's a sci-fi, but we're also making a film in regard to the paranormal event called the Mandela Effect, and we're going to make it as good as we can. I also own Avery Films, and so I'm out there and I'm trying to do what I actually can to make my mark, as everybody says, to make my mark, but to also help others find the stuff that they need. Like here, there wasn't a hope in hell of me finding these extrusions anywhere a couple of weeks back, and it was only through someone in a store saying, oh no, maybe you should go and talk to these people because they make the extrusion, and hence you'll learn about that. And the thing is, if I get a sponsor, I won't take any sponsors from that same type of equipment. We will be very fair to our sponsors and things like that. But the thing is, the biggest thing is aluminium extrusion. It's a very expensive thing, but like I may even try and make that, the self-regulating heat bed. As I said, I've studied electronics, one of the subjects that I've done. I'm going to be making a 3D scanner, which is actually, that one is the one that I plan to make, but I've got to modify it because unfortunately, there's some problems with the heads and things like that, and I've ordered special webcams that I want to use instead of that particular webcam, because one, it's hard to get and very expensive, and it's not to the quality that I can get for a lot cheaper, and I can get 1080 instead of 720 and everything. So it's sort of stuff. We'll be doing little projects as well, but at the same time we're going to be concentrating on this one a lot. I plan to build the in-move robot, and I also, because at the moment his legs don't work, I plan to work out to make his legs work. And see, sometimes what I might do is I might go out and see something out there that works, i.e. like a walking robot, and see if I can adapt it to suit this robot. And then most probably down the road even design my own once I've learned how to build the robot, because trust me, I'm not going to build a robot unless I've built one. I'm going to build the robot, but I'm going to build something that I know has been built. I'm going to improve on it. Well, that's pretty much what happens with the InMove. So many people have actually manipulated this robot to where it looks nothing like it originally did. It just started out one piece and that, and it grew. But as I said, like, we're going to be talking about different things. I may even talk about where you can pick up components, why you should swap to this component, i.e. a good example, I've got a problem with my thermistor. And this thermistor will actually solve my problem, because instead of screwing a washer over the thing, this one just screws straight in to that hole that crushes the other type of thermistor. This one just screws straight into that hole. That's it. You're done. So I'm going to be talking about stuff like that. And but I'm trying to explain to everybody what it's going to be like. And I'm going to be down to earth. And trust me, I will be down to earth. Some of the videos will first be made as a stream and then converted into a video, so you'll be able to chat with me live and everything like that. We plan to be actually streaming live when we're doing it to Twitch and other things as well, like iStream and everything like that. And but then down the road we'll chop up all the footage and we'll turn it into an instructional video of quality, so you can actually see. If I see something out there, you may be able to say, okay, look dude, how do you do this? Is there a way around fixing this? Well, because I've studied, I've lost track of how many subjects I've studied, and I can tell you little fixes for furniture. The best tool to assemble the furniture, i.e. like a certain tool. And but the whole thing is, you want the best quality of stuff that you want to do, and you want to know how to make that project work. So some days we may even just make a piece of furniture. We might make or do a renovation, because, as I said, my house is under current, well, it's renovations now because the major repairs, and I mean major repairs, I just said stuff that we may as well just renovate while we're at it. And because it costs actually, do you know, it actually costs less than just trying to fix it and bring it back to exactly the way it was. It actually costs more to bring something back to the way it was. So we'll talk about stuff like that. And like, I will actually open the rooms up, and you can come in and you'll be able to chat and talk with me live. And that's only going to happen in the streams. The actual conversations may not make it into the videos, but they will stay there as a stream. And yes, it sort of, we will thrive most probably, hopefully, on super chats and things like that to help us out, because it's going to cost money to build things. The revenue of this channel will go to building this channel, similar to the other channel, that the revenue from that channel goes to building that particular project, i.e. one of the films. And we're trying to raise money for a camera in that thing, but that will be for that. And yes, I'm not going to deny that I am trying to raise revenue to make the channel better, because, as I said, like, you've got to buy these components. They're not cheap. The components are not cheap. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, even if you go to Banggood and everything like that, and where are we? And we'll go categories, electronics, 3D printers, 3D printer accessories, okay? Well, no, actually 3D printer motherboards. So we'll have a look at the motherboards. We'll talk about them. We'll look at the differences whilst we're actually in there. Like, you can go and build an Arduino one, or you can build a Raspberry Pi one, or you can go out and you can buy a Duet with a Duet adapter board on top. You're going to get a much higher quality printer board if you do that. We're going to talk about the heater mats, and like, okay, I'm going to tell you something. Everybody says the shit you get from China is shit. Guess what? It's not. Do you know all those brand names that say, oh yeah, well, this and everything? The reason why they say that stuff in China is shit is because of one simple reason. They want their brand to sell. They don't want you to buy the Chinese stuff, because the Chinese stuff is the same as theirs, because 10 to 1 theirs comes from China. 10 to 1 it's made in China. I heard someone talking about a brand in one video, and then the actual owner is talking about how they make their product in China. So you've got to look at different things. You've got to look at how everything goes. We'll talk about components. We'll compare eBay prices to Banggood. We'll talk about them on Amazon. See who's got the best price. We'll look at stuff like that. We'll talk about the little knickknacks and tracks of how you go about getting stuff. We'll most probably make some molds. We may even do a bit of forging. And, no, not forging. Yeah, maybe. I haven't done forging for a while, but we definitely will do pouring of steel. Yes, which is forging. Yeah. But, i.e. we'll make casts of different things that we make. We'll do a lost sort of PLA, which is similar to a lost wax, and down the road. But see, then that's where the money issue comes into it. And yes, it's going to be trying to raise money. But I want to present to you the equipment you can get. Hopefully some of the people will actually just sponsor us and either give us the equipment or lend us the equipment, so that we can actually do reviews. We'll be doing reviews on different things. But if they send me something, trust me, I'll still give an honest review on something. I'm not that sort of, like, they could send me $1,000 worth of stuff. They're still gonna get an honest review, a God honest review. And because I don't take shit, I don't like companies that sort of say, oh, well, look, we'll give you this if you do that for us. But I'll advertise, I'll put an ad on the channel, but that's the difference. Unless I think their product is good, then I'll give them a good review. And but that's a different story. If their product is good, yeah, they've got a good review. Their product is shit, they get a shit review sort of thing. But You know what I mean? It's sort of, I want to tell the truth. I want you guys to know, like as I just said, the so-called cheap parts in China, they only say it because they want you to buy their parts. By the way, half of their parts were bought in China. They've just been rebranded. I'll tell you something about Chinese, Japanese electronics. Unless it actually says Japan on it. Japan, yeah, you get Japanese electronics, they are through the roof. But then sometimes you get shit Japanese things. So we're going to talk about that. Sometimes we'll make electronic projects. We might make actually I plan to make 3 robots. Little ones, little sort of learning ones that teach you how this sort of stuff works, how the Arduino works. We may get into coding on sometimes. But yes, it's sort of, I don't want to restrict myself. I'm an artist. I'd never restrict myself to what others sometimes do, because by restricting yourselves to a set thing, you're actually taking it away from what you're trying to tell everybody about. And I want to avoid that. I want people to actually see what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and okay, I can do that myself. And I don't want them to be in the situation that I was in with T-Slop. I don't want anybody to be in that situation, because I searched for 3 years. I rang up so many aluminium extruding places, said, oh, have you got this stuff? This is what it looks like. I'll send you a picture. Oh, no, mate, we don't have it. We don't have it. Oh, but we'll make it for you. But then they wanted 10 grand. Yeah, that was, let's just say, yeah, that was a certain brand. They just said, yeah, we'll make it for you, mate. Yeah, it's going to cost you 10 grand. Yet all I had to do was go to Sydney or Melbourne or Queensland. And because, see, some of these companies think that everybody knows where they are. But if you didn't even know the name of the product, it's very hard to find. And I want to try and resolve those myths so that you guys out there that are just becoming makers, the young fellas out there that have never made anything in your life, I want to be able to show you how to source the equipment. I want to be able to show you where to get the equipment. I want to show you how to buy it cheaper. Yes, sometimes you do buy components that are shit, and it's most probably something simple as a dry joint. A lot of the time that I'll look at a circuit board and I'll say, okay, that's where the problem is. That capacitor has blown out. Maybe we'll go up to the local shop and buy a capacitor, and we'll put a capacitor on the board. It's fixed. It works. Most of the time, bad electronics, it's from a dry joint. And that does happen. And second-hand electronics does the same thing. But we're going to talk about how stepper drivers work. And it's sort of, I'm going to try and solve the problems that I've had before you have them, and I want to try and help you out. I'll put together kits of this sort of equipment, and yes, I may source it from other places and different things like that, but I want you to have the best equipment. The kits will be what I buy, or you can simply just buy the materials off me and then go out and buy your own electronics and go through the nightmare that I go through. But yeah, see, I'm trying to resolve those issues for you, because so many people are getting into 3D printing now. 3D printing is the future, and but it's not just 3D printing. As an artist, yes, it's going to help me. You can use these same equipments to make a CNC machine. You can make an engraver. Yeah, as I said, you can make a laser scanner. And I want to make all these little items, and some of them I want to make bigger, i.e. like the 3D printers. I want to make them big, and I want them to look good as well. And so these are the sort of things that a lot of people don't know that you can do. And when you do all these things and you try and get the stuff out there, and you try and do this and you try and do that, 95% of the time you go through a absolute nightmare trying to gather the equipment, trying to do everything that you need to do. And like, trust me, my mates come to me all the time and they say, oh, look, Tony, do you know where I can get this? Do you know where I can get that? Like, you're always buying stuff for your projects. Oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. Tony, how do I make the furniture? And they've all said to me, Tony, do the channel, do a channel, help us out. So that's what I'm going to try and do. I'm going to try and help everybody out to do that. And yeah, so hopefully it does work and everything, and they get the information they need. But I'm hoping that you get that out of it as well. So, but yes, you'll always see the particular ad that started off with. That one's not going to stop until the product is released. And so yes, it's sort of it's a strange ad, I know, but it's easy for me to say, which is good. But yes, there's different things that you can do, and maybe we'll talk about the Arduinos, why they do it, and like Raspberry Pi even. I've got a box here of Raspberry Pi components sitting in front of me for little projects. Some of them are actually going towards the robot. I thought to myself, oh God, I'm going to have to buy a couple of those little components. And then I remembered that I've got this little box of components. One of the major things on his front, i.e. that little, this little thing here in front of him, just under the iMove, I got it sitting in my box, just sitting there. And so yeah, it's sort of, so we'll be talking about different things. You will watch me. The next video I will be making will be completing a kit that was purchased from JCar. It's the K8200 3D printer, and it's yet to be completed, and it will be completed, and we're just waiting on the missing parts and like everything else. And we may go to like the big dumpster sale down in for JCar when they have a dumpster sale, and we may buy some stuff and rebuild them. And even when I'm learning stuff, if I learn something new, I'll actually pass it on to you guys without a problem. So look guys, if you want to learn all about it, come along to the channel and hopefully you'll learn. Subscribe, like, and don't forget to click the bell so you get notified. Whatever you do, don't forget to click that little bell. And as I said, I'm giving you a warning now. Sometimes I do swear, but that's just me. Okay, you're talking to an Aussie. And yeah, that was the way I was brought up. My pastor said to me, Tony, you sort of, you swear, but look, I'm used to it now. You talk pubbies. And because and I said, what do you mean? He said, well, you go to China, you talk Chinese. You go to Japan, you talk Japanese. But you go into the pubs and talk about God. You're not afraid to talk about God in the middle of the pub or a club. He said, you talk pubbies. He said, you're a field worker, Tony. He said, you're what we call field workers. But yeah, occasionally we might even talk about God. Maybe not. But yeah, I've also found out different things and everything. I've done some research into the Anunnaki and found out that the Bible's actually copied from the Anunnaki tape. So I learnt that recently. Different things and everything like that. And there's, but yeah, we'll talk about anything you want to talk about in the chat. So you can always come in, talk about it. Even if you just want to talk about the weather, we'll talk about the damn weather. But watch out, I've got some really good moderators. Come in trolling, they'll bounce you out pretty quick. But anyhow, guys and gals, that's the intro video for the channel. I hope you all come along and subscribe and watch me as I learn how to build a robot, i.e. the InMove robot. And you'll want to check this site out as well. I'll put a link in the description for everybody so they can go and check out the robot and see. And you might even want to build it yourself, because thousands of people around the world are building this robot, learning about robotics. It's pretty much an animatronic robot. The only problem is his legs don't work, but we're going to try and make his legs work, his arms work, he talks. Yeah, so there's a lot to this bloke, and we're going to try and do our best. So those of you that have joined me for this video, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you all in the chat room and come in and have a yarn and everything like that. You'll be able to ask me direct questions. If I know it, I'll tell you. If I don't know it, yeah, sometimes it might take me a couple of days to find it out, if I can or whatever. But if it comes to making stuff, trust me, I've done so many subjects. Well, as I said, I've done engineering, I've done mechanical engineering, I've done manufacturing engineering, I've done electronics, I've done art, I've done computers and programming. Yeah, I do classify myself as the Leonardo da Vinci of this century, and trust me, I've got the inventions to prove it. And I'm also a very good artist. And so eventually you may see me even paint, as I said, or draw or something like that. So I'm trying to put my skills out there and everything like that. Some stuff may get weird even sometimes, but that's just me. So look, if you want to come along, have a laugh, have a yarn, yeah, come along, subscribe to the channel, and maybe you'll learn something, and maybe I'll learn something. So anyhow, thanks everybody, and I'll catch you later, maybe in the next video. Thank you very much for watching, and we just got to pay for the channel. Just forgive me, everybody. This ad and video was proudly brought to you by What is ZS? ZS is coming. It's coming soon. See you all. Goodbye.